If lasagna had an easygoing sister, this would be her. It's a must-try recipe that everyone loves. I know you will keep coming back to this recipe. Even kids like it. I'm going to show you how to make it now. So first, I'm going to get my pasta going. So while that water is getting hot and to a boil, I'm going to go ahead and get the sauce component ready. So we're going to chop this guy up and get him ready for the pan. Well, I'm not going to say the same joke everyone does with the, oh my god, I'm crying right now. It's just so sad. But I do have tears streaming down my face right now. It's another reason I don't like onions. I don't like onions, but I do cook with onions, but I gotta make sure that I saute the hell out of these so that they don't, have that, that crunchy texture that I don't like. I don't know. Do you guys like onions? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments. I'm not team onion, but yeah, I will use it when necessary, and this is definitely necessary today. I would be using a small tomato. It could be a Roma or whatever tomato of your choice. I don't have any tomatoes, so again, like I always say, use what you got and make it work. So I'm going to use some of these and dice them up and add them to my onion concoction. So while this is sauteing, I'm just going to let it brown up till it's nice and almost caramelized. I mean, these tomatoes are not really the ideal ones to use for this, but again, you have to make things work. And I will be adding Italian seasoning to this. I kind of go heavy on it. I'll have the actual recipe down below. This truly smells so good. It's just the combination of that Italian seasoning with the onions and tomatoes. It's just so good. And there's so much more we're adding to this to really add a lot of flavor. For the pastas today, I'm going to give you a few different options that you can choose from depending on your dietary preferences. So if you are a gluten-free person, this one is a really good one. If you have, gluten-free is kind of hit or miss, so really if you have a gluten-free one that you like, just stick to that. But that's one. If you are trying to build that muscle, you want more protein, then this one is super amazing. I love this one. So this one's your protein pasta, so that's a good option. Oops. Then you have your penne, which is just a standard pasta. And then if you are low carber, there's the carbonara, which is a lower carb pasta. It's really good, especially if you're trying to reduce your carbs. It doesn't taste gross. I honestly rather eat this one than the gluten-free. I'm just saying. But for this recipe, I'm going to use this one. And now you're going to add half a bottle or a jar of your favorite marinara to this. So a little trick that you can use if you know you're not going to use the other half of this, because I believe you only have 4 days or 5 days. I think you have 5 days to use it once it's been opened. You could put it in a Ziploc bag and then freeze it. This is an example of ones that I had. Well, this is actually not marinara, this is salsa. So I had a salsa jar, and I know because it's just me and I don't really go through food that quick, so I made these little, not discs, but I froze them here, so then whenever I want them, I just defrost them. That way there's no food waste, because I'm really anti-food waste. So, but yeah, you can do that with the marinara, but in like a bigger thing. So then whenever you're ready to make more pasta or whatever you want, just go to your freezer. So I did realize when I was making this, it's because, it is different when you're filming a video. I've made this recipe a million times and I never mess up on it just because it's so simple. But because I'm filming and I'm kind of worrying about angles and all that stuff, I actually put a full onion in this. It was only supposed to be half. So if you realize it, you don't have to tell me that I did the recipe wrong. I'm just letting you know. It's supposed to be half an onion. So this one's gonna be extra oniony, and I don't really like onions, but I'm sure, you know, I sauteed it pretty good, so I shouldn't, you know, shouldn't be too bad. Pasta should be almost done. I'll go ahead and check it to make sure it's perfectly al dente. And I do use the same spoon because I don't want to wash more dishes. So while the pasta is finishing up, I'm going to go ahead and make the ricotta portion of this, which is going to be half of a container. This one is 15 ounces. Let me just make it easy. You could do half of it, and I'm just going to put it in this bowl here. I'm just going to do half. I mean, you don't have to measure it and be like super perfect with it. I just do half. Yeah, that looks about half there. Okay. To this, we're going to go ahead and add extra virgin olive oil. Let me measure this because I normally don't measure it when I make it, but I know I want to make sure I'm giving you an actual. I'm going to do 1 tablespoon. We'll start with that. I will put the final recipe in the description to get the exact, because I make this all the time, but I just more freehand it. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my black pepper. Oops, ooh, that went all over the place. And then your salt. Okay, and then we are going to add some oregano. So for this, I normally do, I would say about half a teaspoon. So let me just, and then you're gonna mix this up. So this is like so good. This, like, I mean, I would just, you know, eat this as a meal and like go, like that's my meal. That's how good this is. But of course I won't, just because, you know, summer bodies are made in the winter, and it's winter, so I can't eat all this even though I want to. So before we assemble this, I'm gonna add a little bit of the pasta water to this, and we'll mix it up, and then let's go ahead and get started.
But before you go, don't leave me hanging. Make sure you like the video and you subscribe. It really helps out my small channel. Besides, you don't want to upset Valentina. She gets easily offended.
Don't piss me off.
We have Natalia over here making sure everything is up to standards. I don't know why she likes to go right there, just kind of watches everything in the kitchen. Natalia. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and assemble this. I'm gonna put a layer of pasta and then a layer of this sauce. Now you're gonna add the ricotta mixture, and then you're gonna just dollop it through it. You could put a full layer if you wanted to, but you would probably have to make more of this. So I'm just gonna put dollops instead of having it like spread full like a lasagna. This is gonna be healthier. I mean, there's no bad foods, it's just bad. There's bad quantities, more like it, but. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this up, and then I will start with the next layer. Okay, so now that we have the final layer of pasta, I'm just gonna flatten it out and do the same. So we're gonna add the rest of the pasta sauce, and then we're gonna dollop the ricotta. to save just a little tiny bit because I'm going to add more ricotta right now. And then whatever remains of the sauce, I'll just try my best to, you know, make it flat. We are going to put some cheese on, a little bit of cheese. You can add more cheese if you want, but I like to try to keep everything as healthy as possible. I mean, not going too crazy on the cheese. Okay, so I'm going to add just a tiny bit of mozzarella just to the top because we're going to cook it. So I'm going to start with that, and then you can always add more to your preference. So we'll go ahead and put it in the oven, which I already preheated at 450, and we'll go ahead and get it going in there, and I'll show you how the final ensemble looks. So I don't feel like using the full oven, so I'm going to use this little mini oven. Ow, I just burned myself. Okay. So look at this pose. She's just sitting there like a model. Sophia, why are you looking so perfect? Are you a model? Sophia. So I just took it out of the pan. This is the grand reveal. So I know it doesn't look that great because taking anything out of a pan is never gonna look good, but we're all about real cooking here. No, nothing's fake here. It's just real cooking in our kitchen here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of salad to it. And then that's it. But really the flavor is so amazing, so I really hope that you do try it. It's a simple meal, and it only takes, I think it's less than 30 minutes. And there's a lot left over. So of course, portions are relative, so it kind of just depends on how much you eat. And this does taste really good tomorrow as well, so it's perfect for leftovers. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and again, thank you so much for watching.